So to start this vlog off, I would just like to take a moment of silence for all the other vlogs. Okay, thank you. So, Pregnant Butch. What a book. So I would like to discuss the characterization of Teak, and direct you to page 53. I will put the panel, right?
Yeah.
I will put the panel in at a later moment, not right now. So, the author writes, coming up in the late 80s, I learned that sex is the genitals and gender is everything else. Now I'm told that pink is hardwired and the social construction of gender is an outmoded concept. So, this picture, there's a lot of craziness going on right now. We'll get to that later. But first of all, I had to look up what the heck that A.K. Summers meant by pink, because the color obviously does not make sense in that sentence. So I was a little confused about that and what outmoded meant. So I did some research, and I found out that pink means the best condition or degree, so what you think it's supposed to be, and that outmoded means outdated, and now I feel dumb for not knowing that, but anyways, so, and like A.K. Summers writes, she says that sex is the genitals. That's kind of what we talked about in class. That was, for me, the easiest definition to remember what sex was, and she says that gender is everything else. So I just felt like this was Teak's way of saying that you can be more with gender than with sex, and that, like, gender is more fluid than what sex is. And again, so the characterization of Teak, this is kind of how she grew up, and it explains her views on sex and gender. So now I'm going to show you the picture and just talk about that a little bit. I also felt like I should mention the reason that I'm taking you to this specific panel. It's just because this one stood out to me compared to the rest of the illustrations in the novel. There's just so much to look at, and I really, like, when reading the novel, I really stayed on this page just to look at this panel and take in every little character, every little person that was drawn into this. So just looking at this picture, there is obviously a lot going on, and I just think that A.K. Summers illustrated it this way to show the craziness of the 80s. Just there's so much going on. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. And coming over on the left-hand side, you have a bearded nun on rollerblades. It looks like there's an individual giving a blowjob, question mark? Like, there's just a lot of stuff going on in this photo. So I really think that what Teak is trying to say here, everything was so crazy, they thought, why not gender too? Let's just make gender crazy. So I think that this really characterizes Teak because it shows kind of her thought process of why she believes the things that she does, why she thinks that gender can be such a fluid and free thing. And also I think that you can note that you don't see Teak anywhere in this illustration. So I just really think that it characterizes Teak because she's not really one for all this craziness. She's just not really about that crazy life, not that rollerblading nun life, she just does her own thing. So, again, I think that Teak is characterizing herself as just a laid-back butch, and she is just very content with who she is. She doesn't feel the need to get involved in all the gender stuff that was the craziness of the 80s. She's just very content with herself being a butch and endures this pregnancy, which was a whole nother vlog in and of itself. But yes. Thank you to all of my subscribers for watching my vlogs every week. It just really means a lot to me because I hate doing these. I'm so happy I'm done.